Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a coffee talk, guys. Got the coffee. We're back. Well, we're only half back, actually. Unfortunately, Pilgrim had, he's hanging out with his family or something. I don't know. I don't know why you would do that. Good morning. Good morning, Wayne. Stickler, thanks for the resub, man. Who else is here? Jollins, Gator, how y'all doing? He is MIA. That is a fact, Wayne. We have no Pilgrim. That's all right. He should be back next week. He has prioritized his family for some reason. Go figure. No, that's completely, absolutely the priority here, my friends. Good morning, Randall Green. How are you? Well, let's see. Last weekend was good. Went down to Gainesville and hung out with the daughter and had a really nice time, other than it rained the whole time. Anyone who was in Florida last weekend will remember that it rained for 2 days straight. Most of the places in Florida, other than the south down there. So nothing more to report about that. I don't think I have any home improvement shenanigans that I've got up to, although today is going to be garden day. I'm going to have to go out. I got to pull up the pavers that I use to kind of position the plants, and then I've got to scrape off all the weeds that have grown up over the winter. Eighth Hustlers, good morning. How you doing? So that's the plan for later today, if I can get up the gumption. I really just want to mess around because I haven't had much time to do anything. Channel news-wise, I played 9 games in the last week. That is not much. Holy cow! I just haven't had time to do any of that stuff. Had some visitors for a month, and now I've got another visitor for a month. Family from the various places, all that good stuff. So busy, busy, busy. I don't know, how does spring get like this? Do y'all spring get like this? You get real busy during the holidays, and you think it's going to tail off in the new year, and then boom. I did get a 4.52K, Wayne. We will talk about it. How about you guys? Anybody get one? Anyone get a numbered one? I did not get a numbered one. I was not here when that happened, or I guess I was, because it was Friday, right? So I was here. I was out. No number. Okay. Yep. I ended up getting one. I used a little bit of everything. I used some bonds, some gold, some silver, as much of the blueprints as I could, and as much free experience as I had. I know that it would have been cheaper. Good question. Somebody else will have to let me know, because I don't think you can go to the event once you own it. Somebody else will have to let us know. Is this what this is? Assembly shop. There it is. Vehicle received. Let's see what happens. Yeah, you can't. Well, you don't see what I'm doing. Let me show you what I'm doing here. I went to it, but you can't tell. It doesn't tell you anything about it if you've got it. 820, Gator, thank you. 820. Wow. There was 1,000 last night. Wouldn't it be interesting if it got cheaper as they went on? And then you just started have people playing the game of if they could get one cheaper. It would be a reverse. So yeah, sometimes I have brilliant ideas like this. It would be like a reverse auction at the very end of it, where people tried to pile in and get it as cheap as possible. That's a good point. Not working. I will admit I watched Quickie Baby's video on it, and I tend to somewhat agree with him. One of his points was they'll keep doing this kind of stuff as long as we keep buying it. On the other hand, it's content, and people like the game, and they want to have the tanks, right? And if you're a whale and you've built up a lot of resources like I do, if you look up here. Now the gold that's given to me by Wargaming in the past, right? So as that goes away, I'll have less and less gold. So it'll become more apparent to me, the costs of the standard player. I'll talk a little bit about that idea as well later, because I'm getting a different view of the game, not being a CC, not having the inside info. Not that it was hugely important to begin with, but it did have something to do with my knowledge of what was coming up and how I acted within the game. But I've built a ton of bonds. I had 50 million credits. I had a bunch of free experience that I used. A lot of people have 1 million experience. That's what it cost to get the thing. But the point essentially is, yeah, you have all that stuff and you can spend it, but it's this avalanche of things being thrown at people to get their resources. Ultimately, they're money, but like I was saying, when you're a whale and you've built a lot of resources, what the hell are you going to use them for? So it's one thing to go, well, people shouldn't buy it. But on the other hand, I have all this crap. What am I saving exactly all of these resources for? Well, to get resources or to get content within the game. So there's a huge difference between someone with as many resources as I have and someone who's maybe just started the game in the last year or two. At which point you look at the cost of something like that for the assembly shop and I don't know how much is it? Well, isn't $200 or $300 something like that, right? If you just used gold. Yeah, we're going to talk not working as intended about the roadmap because there are some things coming up. We'll talk about that as we go. All right. What have I done with my script? I don't know what I've done with it. Found it. Channel news. Let's see. Still working on the loses. Getting close to that one. I got the T832 is in the mix now. Working on that as well. Actually still have the GSOR 1010 on my list and the XMF. I finished both of those. There should have been, well, not should have been. There were reviews on those two things. I finished, fellas, the Japanese heavy line in one battle. And I probably didn't need to play that battle. So, I'd played here and there a little bit. I sat down yesterday. I think I played 2 or 3 yesterday. Finally, I had a little bit of time yesterday. Not working. What's happening, man? Watch streak. Nicely done. 3 stream streak. Anyone else have issues? I haven't played Frontline. I didn't even realize it's going. Is that true? It is going. Oh, outstanding. It is going. All right. There you go. If anyone has any crashes, let not working as intended know. I haven't noticed anything on the website or the Discord about that. But crashes in Frontline are fairly common. You've heard that complaint nearly every time. Tanks wouldn't auto repair? Fantastic. That is also a subject we're going to cover a little while later in terms of things that Wargaming continues to push out that are buggy or not quite finished or not ready. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, finished the Japanese heavy line in one battle. I don't think I needed a second battle. Well, I definitely didn't need a second battle. I don't think I needed the first battle. So here's the Type 68, and I played one game in it, which went okay. I won. I got 1,100 experience. I got 2,000 damage and 628 experience out of it. No kills, but there's my stats. So if I just stay right there, pretty good, right? Pretty army sufficiency 0.66, outstanding. Destruction ratio is bad at 0, right? So but when I came back into the garage, it is the one battle challenge, Wayne. When I came back into the garage, I noticed on the research tab that it had the complete, it's like a red tank little symbol right there. So I clicked on it and I went, 0 for the Type 61. Because, as I've mentioned before, you get all these blueprints, right? So all these various missions and things will chuck blueprints at you. And when you get rando blueprints, they are blueprints for a tank you don't have. If you have all of the tanks, then every blueprint is for the same tank. And essentially, I built the blueprint for a tier 10 off of one battle. Wasn't really off of one battle. It was everything before that brought a blueprint for the Type 61, but I ended up playing one battle in the Type 68 and unlocked the Type 61. That's kind of disappointing, actually. I don't know how you fix that or whether you would want to. But when you've got so many tanks unlocked, I sort of enjoy the grind to get to know the tank and do it. That only works at tier 5, 6, 7. At about tier 8, the number of battles to get it gets less and less. Very strange. So it just accelerates the unlocking out. So now I bought it. It was another 6 million credits. So I had 31 million credits this morning. I bought this thing this morning, and now not this one. This is the other one. This is the tier 9. But I bought the tier 8. Yeah, I could have done that, Cliffy. It's not a bad suggestion, but I like to unlock all of this stuff because I don't want to play stock tanks. You know what I mean? So I know that's what you were saying. You're having making a funny, but on the other hand, I might do that because at least it's interesting. You know, it is offset. So very strange. And again, I don't think there's a fix to it, fellas. I don't think. Like, what would you do? Would you start to slow down blueprints getting handed out as guys got closer and closer to unlocking everything? That's really the only way you could do that. Or you could just get rid of blueprints. But blueprints were put into the game because there's so many tanks. If somebody had just started, it's a very daunting task to start unlocking lines. It is a one percenter issue, absolutely. So that's only, hell, I don't even know if it's a one percenter. Maybe it is now because there's probably, after all these years, there might be quite a few people in my position. But it's certainly not a lot, and it's not a major part of the game. But it's all about me. So, you know what I mean? It is. It's all about me. So I once again own all of the Tech Tree tanks and whatever those other ones are called, the not reward, the heck are they? Special tanks. I can't think of what they are right now. Still doing some DCS. Had a nice DCS day the other day. By the way, any of you guys that do DCS that have any of the air-to-air aircraft or can fly any of those, hit me up on Discord. Send me a note. Or in game here, but probably Discord's better because I'm not running around in World of Tanks as much as I was. We fly on Tuesdays, so I'd like to get your data and see if maybe you want to join us on a Tuesday, and we'll do some flying. All right, collectors, that's the word. Let's see. Doing a little bit of Mountain Blade still playing that. I switched over. I think I joined a kingdom. I got bored with the merchant thing. Isn't that great? Isn't that a great thing about the games? Here's a thought that I had on this. I've always been a completionist on games. Anybody out there, any of you guys a completionist, where you want to go through every bit of content in the game? It is Odd Dog. You will find them on my YouTube channel. Usually as Saturday releases, I'll do those. I'm working on another video, so there should be one out pretty soon. I don't know if I've made a... I need to do this. I'm not sure if I've made a DCS playlist, but I think there is one. I think that's been on my list of things to do. But you'll go through the videos, you'll see them. They're sprinkled in. Especially lately, I've done probably 5 or 6 recently. But you're a completionist with these games. And I kind of do that. So I start, and I want every... In Bannerlord, let's talk about Bannerlord. I want every one of my companions to be max level, right? I want them to be as good as they can be. So I don't send them out to do caravans usually. They stay with me, and we just battle, and they get better and better, and I want them to be... And I give them all the best equipment that's slightly worse than mine, of course. And I try to min-max everything. It was cool this time to finally go, you know what, what's the point of all that? Just play the way you want to, man. So I did the whole merchant thing, but eventually the bug got me because I got tired of running around and just trading. That it's kind of boring, isn't it? At the end of the day, you buy stuff, you go somewhere else, you sell it. For a while, it was fun to sort of figure it out, do random missions and whatever. But I got bored, and I also, the other reason that I got sort of bored on it is that the... What is it called? It's not your kingdom, it's your clan. Your clan can only go to a certain tier. I didn't know that. I thought clan tier would just keep going, and I'd get more and more companions. It was going to be awesome, but it only goes to tier 6. So I guess the maximum amount of companions you can have, I think it's 9. I believe 8 or 9, something like that. You can eventually, I believe, get your sons in on it, and they sort of become companions, or at least you can use them in a similar way. Probably with some other extras on there. I haven't had one get to 18. I was disappointed to learn that in Bannerlord that the daughters, apparently you don't get to use them till they're 40 or something. Is that right? I know a couple of you guys have experience with it. That's what I read anyway. That surprised me. I mean, 40? What on earth? So I guess they can become governors or something at 40 years old, and the sons can't at 18, unless I completely misread that. Also, maybe it was changed or patched, whatever, because you go into Bannerlord or any game, you start looking into putting questions into Google and figuring it out. You never know which dang version it is. I guess you could pay attention to the date. That would be a good idea. Could do that, but why? Why would you do that? Old maids, yeah. So doing some Mountain Blade, doing some DCS. That's right, Gator. That's right. I need them because I am getting a lot of daughters. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. I need them at 18 to be able to get out in the world and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm training them up. I'm training them up to be killers. But wait until 40. That's too far. I find that interesting, actually, that you can run a female character, but then they keep that sort of more traditional, a more traditional idea of it for the sons and daughters of the player character. I don't know. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all for channel news, my friends. Expect a stream on Friday. I should be on Friday. That should be cool. That's my day off, so that's the plan anyway. Silver, thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate that. You are welcomed for another month. Okay, I need to build that. I need to build that playlist for DCS. Let me take a look. I don't remember if I did though. Just got to go find one of the videos here. Let's see. It's been a while since I put a DCS one out, actually, now that I think about it. A couple weeks. Maybe even more. That's a high aspect BFM one. Has it been that long? January 27th. I could have swore I put one out in between there, but clearly not. All right. Did not know that. Let's see. Give me a second to see if I've playlisted this thing. Doesn't look like it. Huh. Alright, so that's on my list of things to do, guys. I'll have to make some playlists for you to get all the DCS content in one place. Alright, cool. Missions and specials. We're going to get the blue light special out. Poise99, appreciate the sub. Awesome. Thank you. 6 months. You rock. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Alright, let's see what we got going on. Missions and specials. We'll start in the shop here. What do we got? Premium shop. Time to shill. KPZ PR68. This is the tier. Oh, this is a tier 8. Okay. Yeah. So this is the Dune tie-in, guys. That's still hanging out. The tank itself is only $42.55, but if you want the package, you're gonna pay for a 3D style that looks like a spaceship. T-34-3 is at 44. That's an okay tank. It's kind of fun, actually. The T-34-3. It's not amazing. It's kind of a fun one though, because it hits for 390. Although that's not as special as it used to be. The reload, yeah, it's a long reload, right, Wayne? Takes a while to reload. Kind of a heavy time for reload. Or are you talking about the 34-3? 34-3 does have a long reload. I think the KPZ does as well. Don't they both have one? First one, yeah. I sort of found that as well. And I think it got buffed fairly recently, Cliffy. Although when I say fairly recently now, sometimes that's 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, they both have long reloads. But that, that 390 used to be a kind of special thing at tier 8 for a medium. 390, it's like, holy cow, 390 at tier 8. But, now you've got things like the Chimera that's hitting, I think, at 400 or over kind of thing. There might even be a few more 390 mediums. I'm not sure, but it's not as head and shoulders above where it used to be. TOG's out there. The treasure pack. Got some boosters. End of TOG for $23. That's okay. TOG's fun. Fun tank. We have the Offspring have showed back up. That's interesting. Was that here last week? Yeah, this is the end day for Offspring right now. You hate the Tog? You can't hate the Tog. How do you hate the Tog? Tog is awesome. I can't argue against any of that. It's big, it's slow, and it's soft, but it's funny. It's funny. So Offspring things going on still. Again, in addition to the ISU 152K, if you want to buy the gun that they took off of it from the tech tree and then decided to sell the tank with the gun on it, then you can do that. You gotta love that. That's maybe. Is that the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Cynical thing they've done? Is that the most just plain up cynical thing they've done? What do you guys think? Is there any other cynical things? Confused? What's up? Tog is great with its kitchens. I know, right? You're never uncomfortable. Never uncomfortable. You think the Mars is the most cynical thing? Yeah, because it's a more popular tank. There's an argument for that, Wayne. The meal, the meow, the meow. Yeah, the Borovsk, the copy Borovsk, are those all under the category of cynicism from Wargaming? Hey, yeah, there you go, Meal Borovsk. Hey, we're going to release a new tank. We don't have any new tanks. Well, just slap a skin on one and call it a different name. Should we change the stats? No. Cliffy, are you trying to say the ISU was bad for the game? Even then, that thing was never that. I don't know. Was it? I don't think the ISU with the BL10 was broken. Do you? It certainly wasn't overpowered. So you think just from the big alpha? I guess when it came out, I was never bothered by it. It was kind of annoying to get slapped for 7. I mean, I will agree with that, but I don't remember people really complaining about it. I think that the time that it was a problem passed before they removed it. That's the way I remember it, but my memory could be poor because a lot of that gets mixed around. I don't really remember people getting too irritated by the 750 alpha at tier 8. You're right though; it probably should never have been there. But by the time they changed it, I'm trying. It's hard to remember, but I feel like maybe all that was overcome by events. Yeah, that's true. They did leave the alpha. They didn't even fix the problem, did they? They didn't even really fix the problem. And you know what's actually beautiful about the whole thing? The BZ-176. Anywho's. Oh, speaking of controversy, the IS-3A, the tank that destroyed the game, is back. You can buy one of them for an hour. Well, not an hour, for a day, 19 hours. The Laran, what is the 130, the IS-3A being sold for? $48? Yeah. I thought this was interesting. I don't think it's showing here. It's on the other page. I don't know why, but the Louvre, is on sale right now for a discount. The 432, the LT-432, pretty good light tank. Nice little combat light tank. The Caliban is out there. Holy cow, we got all kinds of stuff. So we go over here to vehicles. Again, I don't know why, but the Lurva, which is still a pretty decent money-making tier 8 premium, is on sale for $42. And I don't know if that's a special of some kind that only I'm seeing, or not only but that I'm seeing for some event or Twitch. What? Not Twitch, the Prime package or whatever. I don't know. Does anyone know? BL10, who are... Thy blind shot come, thy will be done in game as it is on paper. That's pretty good. Did you just make that up or did you find that somewhere? Probably is a holdover from Valentine's Day because it's only for 19 more hours. That's a while ago, though, isn't it? Valentine's Day, that seems like a million years ago. The IS-6 is for sale. At least for me, $40 for an IS-6. Another streamer has that. Outstanding. That's good. So I don't think not a whole lot else going on sales wise. I think the big sale right now is obviously the Object 452K for the assembly shop. That is probably the big one right there, I would say. All right, what else? Oh, Mocha's got something going on out there. There's a bonus code that I put in, and I don't know if it worked. It was put on our Discord by one of you guys, but it is Dune Part 2. I don't know if that's still working. I got a weird message, actually, when I put it in on mine. It said log into the Wargaming Center. It's a Blitz code. All right, there you go. That's why it was telling me to log in, because I wasn't logged into Blitz. I was logged into Tanks. All right, ignore that code. It's terrible. It doesn't work. Bad code. Bad code. All right. Of course it's not going to work. My buttons. I got to figure out why my Stream Deck will not give me a button to remove Chrome from multiple scenes. I'm not sure what's going on. So if I set it up on, say, this scene for the button to work, do I have it set up? I think I do. Yeah, there you go. It'll work there. I don't know how to tell the Stream Deck to do it for all scenes. I need to look into that. I've looked into it several times, but I can't figure it out. FV4202 is the best tank ever? I think you're confused, Tuna. I think you're confused. Could be for you, though. Could be for you. All right, rest of the missions and specials. Let's jump in here. Obviously, we'll talk about the assembly shop in a minute, but what else do we have? Go to missions. Air glass. You got the Borsig? You mean the RHM? That's a pretty fun one for a tech tree tank. You just don't want to be seen. Used to be good. Yeah, it was okay at the beginning. We have the Sheridan out for the top of the tree, as well as the WZ-111, and that's pretty much it for this. We're on events. Battle Pass. As you can see, I only got to stage 9, fellas, and it's over today, by the way. All right, so you got 20 hours. You can see that down. Well, it's behind my camera picture, but it's right there. 20 hours left. So if you're going to do that, finish it up or do the slider thing. How much is it going to end up costing me in gold? 4,000 gold. I'll probably do that because I have a bunch. Why not? And then we should get a new battle pass. We'll talk about that when we get a little further in on subjects du jour, because that's some of the tanks. I guess the 2 tanks are actually announced for that. We'll take a look at those. Yeah, I think I'll get the commanders. I mean, I don't care, Cliffy, but yeah, 100%. And what he's talking about here, fellas, if you're thinking about it and you want to minimize the amount of gold you're going to use, if you slide over here, you can see that the bounty equipment is at level 21 right here. So you can save yourself some gold if you're not too fussed about the 2 commanders and a few bonds. Looks like, what are you giving up? You're giving up some decals, a style, 2 commanders, some bonds, a book, some free experience. You'd also grab, if you have already bought the double pass, you would grab some of the credit reserve. But if you're really saving and you didn't buy the improved pass, then you'd want to get to 21. That probably wouldn't cost you too much. Okay, also good info. Cliffy says these 2 guys are not commander locked, which means you can put them wherever you want. That is a good deal. Perfect. So we got that going on. Finishing up. What other specials are... I think that's it, fellas, for missions and specials. Take a quick look on the website here. And I need to fix that because I should be prepared, but I am not. I think that was set up for my RNG view. All right. Sweet. Perfect. All right. I think that's it, guys. We're about to subjects du jour. There is this thing. It comes with, I think it comes with, does it come with missions? I don't remember. Go to the package. Go to the package. Oh, that doesn't help. Never mind. Oh, that's a, I think I've already done that. Hold on. Let me go look at that. I didn't realize that's a Twitch Prime thing. Oh, that's a new one, isn't it? Well, there you go. Well, there you go. It's a new one. I didn't realize. So the Arrakis Desert package is a new Twitch Prime. Learned something. And naturally, it doesn't show up unless you re-log in. They'll see if that works, because I had a problem where it doesn't work. Turkish? Don't know. I think I might have him in the barracks right now still, but I might have also put him in a tank. I'm not sure. Barracks, where's the recruits? There we go. Maybe I don't have Turkish. Or he's in a tank. Does anyone know? He does not. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they wanted to pay Jason Statham to do voice acting for him. It looks like Bluetooth Tony has a voice. Okay. And he's the only one that I have right now that I haven't used. I think, what's his name? The guy that was the star? He has voice from Christmas. So there you go. All right, cool. Thanks for answering that, fellas. So we've got the Arrakis Desert package. That's Twitch. Looks like you're going to get some styles, some decals, a medal. Yes, a medal. Put it on my chest. 50 Battle Pass points, which is cool. Valid until February 25th. Oh, did I just get points? I did and I didn't. They didn't show up. So I have to log out of the game and log back in to make that happen, probably. So I need to make sure I do that to get those 50 points. Day of Premium and some ×5s. Looks like you can get a discount. This is an interesting thing they started a while back, but you can select a discount for a gold tank, for a tank for gold. That is in the tech tree, essentially. When you click the tech tree, it's going to be something that's down here. So let's check. Well, I won't show it. The Summa is French. There's not going to be a Summa there because I have it. So no, we'll have it there. Well, this is just, never mind. I'm lying completely. It's only premium shop discounts. All right, so you'll get a discount on something in the premium shop, not on the gold, not for a tech tree gold tank. I didn't realize that. I thought that was for gold tanks. All right. Just a discount for something in the store. Looks like you get missions as well, which I will not be able to finish. So there's some other stuff for the missions. Kits, fire extinguishers, yada yada, and then there's a finishing mission. How hard are these? First reward. Conditions. Get 10 tokens. Once per account. Alright, that's it right there. So you get a token. What do you need to do? Any battle and win. Great. And be in the top 10. Alright, so you need wins. You need 10, 20, 60, 120, 310. But does that reset each time? I think it resets, right? Yeah, this part goes to March 19th. Good call, Cliffy. So these go to March 19th. All right, so that should be relatively easy, I guess. So it's concurrent. They're consecutive. Okay, good. I was wondering if it was one of those ones where you do 10 and then to do this one you need another 20 and to do this one you need another 40. All right, so it looks like 90. Well, not 90 wins. All right. 90 wins by March 19th, and that's only, what, 25, 26 days from now. Yeah, 180, right? For 50%. And top 10. So if you're running 50% and you manage to be top 10 in every game that you win, it would take you 180 games. Just say 200 games, just as a ballpark. If you're a better player, it'll happen a little faster. But somewhere between 180 and 200 games. Yikes. That's 10 games a day from where I am, more or less. Maybe slightly less. Math in public. Okie doke, so that's out there. What else we got going on? I think that's it. I think we're on to subjects du jour, guys. Subjects du jour. Forums are gone, man. Forums are gone. Tomorrow, hey, what's happening, Jimmy? Tomorrow is the last, will be my last game replay video from a submission on the forums. Used to be the primary way that I interacted with folks in World of Tanks when I started. The first thing I did is I started posting on the forums, and I posted my videos in the forum to sort of gin up interest and see if people would like the videos and all that. And then I always said, if you need to get a hold of me, send it via personal message, direct message, whatever you want to call it, on the forums. And that's how I did it. So that's done. I got my last one. Jeb was a prolific provider of replays for several years, the last 2 years. So I grabbed his last one that he sent, and we're going to watch that tomorrow. It did, Jimmy. I think you got to rent the server space, right? So there is some kind of logistical. I'm not that smart on that. A lot of you guys are IT guys, so you might have a much better idea what. I don't know if you'd have an idea necessarily what it would cost Wargaming, but it certainly cost them something. It may also have cost them something to have employees that bothered to look at it, even though it felt relatively uneven. I don't know if they had a volunteer system for moderators. They may have back in the day. I don't know if they did lately. There was a guy or two in the recent past who was a fairly prolific in terms of moderating, let's put it that way. The forums. Volunteer in the EU, but not here. I put a topic on there. What the heck was it about? It was some. What was I tracking recently that was kind of funny? Oh, the amount of decals for Christmas. For the dog bags, remember that? And it was the woof woof decals. So I put a thread in the general, something that said something like, "Do you even woof?" And then I'm like, "Hey, I have X woof woof," and I kind of kept a running thing. He moderated that and moved it into off topic. And what's hilarious about it is, within a day, there were 7 other threads of the same damn topic, and he didn't move them. Oh, man. Is that your favorite post name? Excellent. I had to reach back to a meme from 5 years ago, or 10, or whatever the hell it was. Do you even, put in item? I ended up with a lot of woof woofs, though. A lot of woof woofs. Anyway, though, the forum's gone, guys. How is Discord? Well, you guys let me know. I talk about it in the video tomorrow, but my opinion is Discord is about the worst forum you can have. It is unusable. Now, for Discord's a fantastic tool. I use it for being able to jump into voice or to just chat real quickly, post things on the run, a more free-form kind of interaction. Fine. For being able to search through and figure for being able to have a more I'm going to use a couple words that you may not think apply to the forum, but this is in relation to a forum to Discord, okay? So set the expectations from the beginning. You can have a more structured, I know you're laughing, thoughtful discussion on a forum than you can on Discord. Okay, remember, it's relative, right? I'm not saying discussions on the Watt forum were always reasonable, structured, or constructive. That's not what I'm saying. But in terms of the ability to have such discussions, insofar as they occasionally were on the forum, it's head and shoulders above what Discord can do. Agreed, Chubby. That's all my words were attempting to say that exact thing right there. Thank you. Yes. Yep. And again, the caveat being that obviously it devolved on forums as well, but at least the structure was there that you could do that. And if you came to it late, this is the big one, if you came to it late, you could scroll up through that single thread and at least you're reading the stuff, you're finding whatever is related to that thread there, right? Attempting to carve through the different channels and all the stuff going on Discord. I don't know. If it's a moderated channel where they can just drop stuff, which I have on my Discord, say you've got a channel that just has all the articles from the website. Okay, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that structure on Discord. You can scroll back and do it. But on the general channels and things where everybody's allowed to type, which is kind of what the forum would be, where you're able to have a discussion, it's blah. It's like people, it's just verbal throw up, you know. So, and there you go. That's what Clippy's saying right there. I missed that, Clippy. Community support and content are about. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So it's unfortunate. Another money saving, I guess, thing. It was an old forum system. Good Lord, how long had they been using that thing? 12, 15 years? And I know they talked about on multiple occasions getting an updated forum system. What would you call it? Forum, I'm going to say program, dating myself, app, whatever. I don't know what you would call it necessarily. But let's say a new forum. They talked about getting a more modern forum and putting it, but that's a cost, right? You'd have to do all that. You'd have to migrate everything across. It was old when they started it? Yeah, probably. Format. There you go, Eric. Thank you. But obviously, clearly, that never came to fruition, and eventually it came to pass that they just decided it was better to cut it loose than keep it around. Was the EU forum deleted as well? I didn't even think about that. I'm assuming it was. It's too bad, man. It's too bad. So it was? Okay. Honestly, it's a bummer. Somewhat connected in my mind. Next subject, guys. Next subject. Somewhat connected. Assembly shop. And you might think, well, how the hell is that connected? And it's just watching everything sort of... I feel like I'm watching in real time the management of the game decay. Am I making too much of that? Is it just more of the same? Is it standard? Is it cyclical? Is it just this is how all online games kind of go? There's a lot of people have been, and I'm not calling for the end of Watt, right? It's the end times or whatever. It can be. I think it can be even a case of, hey, the game's going to be around a long time, but we're also kind of watching some decay in management. Are we? Am I making too much of it? I'm not trying to make a whole lot of it. I'm just commenting on the passing scene of what I'm seeing. And so, assembly shop. That forum goes away. We're not even going to bother. Okay, no replacement. Discord's a replacement. No, that's kind of a crappy replacement. But okay. Assembly shop, something presumably we've been working on for a long time. a tank that is, tier 10 that's going to be assembled. It's got special numbers. It's a big event. We're going to put a big article out. We're going to have all these mechanics. We're going to advertise this thing. And tank's not ready, dude. We got to sorry, we can't make the day. We've been planning on this day for I don't know how long in our calendar. We have this big event. We've put the article out. Hey, you're gonna need to delay that event for a day. What? Yeah, we forgot to put some armor on the tank. What the hell's going on? Who's responsible? Well, we don't know, but the good news is that some players found it. One of the data miners, one of the file miners, found this problem, and it's all over the website. It's all over the leak website. We done screwed up. We have to fix it. Oh boy. I almost said unbelievable, but it's not. It's totally believable. Totally believable. Another, what I call self-inflicted wound. Unforced error, self-inflicted wound by Wargaming. What do you suppose the odds are that anyone will be, I don't know, I don't want to say punished, but let's just call it reprimanded. Will there be anything? We'll never see that, never know, because it's all internal company stuff, and that's not necessarily something you would send out anyway. Obviously, the only time you would let the public know somebody's been punished for something would be something about 90 billion times worse than just missing a day and some pixels in the wrong spot. But still, speculatively, I always wonder with this stuff, because it keeps happening. Do they not learn? Is there no repercussions for stuff like this? Is in the gaming world, is that just par for the course? Is it that, you know what I'm saying? Guys who follow other games, is that just, am I just looking at it going, well, Guido, that crap happens all the time. Shit happens. I don't know. I feel like that, Jimmy. And I've seen it. I was a CC for a long time, and there's another there's another subject. This is why I'm asking the question, because we'll get to it in a minute. We'll get to another area where you see that just based on what's going on with me and the CC program. It's pretty funny, actually. So no communication. Communication is always difficult in a big organization. And it's maybe a case that it's not really possible to have everything perfectly coordinated. But I will say that on many occasions, the CCs and CAs, CRs would bring up stuff. I'm just going to say CCs from now on because this whole delineation is a pain in the ass. So the CCs of varying sizes, let's say that, would bring things up and ask questions, say, hey, look, this has been seen or this has been found. And then we only talk to the community folks. And they go, all right, I'll ping whoever. Which is the way it has to be. I mean, one person doesn't do everything in an organization. That's true. But it always felt like it went into a black hole. It almost always felt like it went right into a black hole and disappeared. That's the problem with having a little bit of vision or view range on something like the CCs do. Where yes, you're kind of plugged into the company. You have a direct line, but you're not part of the company, so you don't have access to all the internal stuff. Even people in the company don't have access to all the internal stuff in the company. So it's easy to think stuff does go into a black hole and nothing's happening. And there may be a lot going on, but communication-wise, my point of all that is that it almost never flowed back. Almost never. that could be not working as intended. It opportunity cost is a thing. You have a company, you have X amount of employees, that you have X amount of resources, time, money, etc. If you look at the company and go, all right, we have 100 employees. They have more than that, but we have 100 employees, and they're all working tanks. And now we got this new project. Let's take 20 of those, and they're now working on CW. Well, now you only have 80 working on tanks, or you have the 20 are dual tasks. So their time is now split in half essentially, or some fraction of that, depending on how much they do on one thing and the other. The point is that with opportunity cost, whatever they did on CW is taken away from what they could have done on tanks, which is what opportunity cost means when you have limited resources, time, etc. It's very interesting. That could, I'm not even going to say could, it certainly has an effect, unless you simply just hired 20 more people. And I don't know how they organized or structured the Cold War thing, but I doubt they just hired new people off the top and added them. They probably took some people out of their existing infrastructure and labor pool and put them on to CW. Oh, that's a good one, Chubby. I hadn't thought about that one. But it makes complete sense, and that's exactly right. We did that in the military. If you had a project that was important, who got it? Well, the guy who's going to do it well. And whatever he was doing well elsewhere, now he or she is not doing. It's a great point, 100%. Well, Wayne, maybe it is. I don't know. I have to say I kind of doubt that. It might be a completely different team, but I bet some of the employees, if not most of them, were from the existing company structure. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they no shit hired X amount of new people, or it's a completely separate studio they've ginned up or something. I don't know. You don't know that. I don't know that. You don't know that. I kind of doubt that. I don't think you would necessarily just hire people like that to make a new game. I think you would use, your resources that were proven and send some of them over there. Again, I don't know though. They're not from existing teams? Really? I don't know, man. I bet there's some people from the existing. Maybe. There's still an opportunity cost loss there, though, because it is money. The money's fungible. They only have so much. So whatever effort they're putting on that is taken away from World of Tanks. That is according to the folks on the. Of course, yes. Okay. Trust me. It works. Why? Because we made it. We told you it works. That's how it. Okay. They did make a pretty serious push when that first came out in asking us to not say it was the follow-on World of Tanks. Almost a little bit too much for me, to where I felt like they were trying to, I won't say force us to say it, but they were being more forceful about that, I think, than about anything else I dealt with them before, minus maybe the time I was partnered with them and they wanted to rebrand my channel into Wargaming Florida. That's just the way I felt. I didn't like the way they were talking about it necessarily, but when you're doing PR and you have a big company like that, you're going to try to, package your player-facing, public-facing, persona in the way you want it to be presented. And one of their big deals was, this is not taking away from World of Tanks, essentially. Yeah, they built a new gaming engine. Good. Wargaming, somebody probably has. I think it's $1 billion company. At least it was at one point. I don't know if it is right now, but it was, I think. Now they've split Lesta off of it. So I think the leadership of the company leadership, whoever owns it, however, whatever the owner structuring is, that person or persons are still making probably about that much. But when you split them apart, each individual piece, Lesta and Wargaming, is probably less than they were. Oh, that's 100%, Jimmy. This is going to keep on going, and this is not a case of me going, oh, they need to just pay attention to World of Tanks. It's just I'm just noting the passing scene, and the reality of the situation is they have attempted on in multiple cases to make a kind of follow-on thing that might keep them going past World of Tanks. I don't want to say they've failed necessarily. We've talked about it in the past on the channel. They have succeeded to some extent, but they've never hit like they did with World of Tanks, I think is probably the fairest way to put it. World of Warships is pretty good. It's got a pretty good following, but it's nowhere near as big as World of Tanks. World of Warplanes it did okay. I mean, you would consider World of Warplanes a moderate success in the gaming ecosystem, but it's certainly not, compared to its brothers and sisters, it's not even close. And it's really dying off. It has been slowly dying. I think if you watch World of Warplanes, you'll get a great idea of what you're going to see with World of Tanks as it gets older and older. Well, yeah, I mean, the Cold War players were almost all World of Tanks players or War Thunder players coming over to check it out and stuff like that. Clearly, there'd be other people coming in from other places, and that's why they're doing it, right? They need to open up the attraction to their games to, I think, other player bases, because if they just build a complete competitor to World of Tanks, then they're splitting their efforts. However, at the same time, it's tanks, so you really can't. That's not really possible, right? You're talking out both sides of your mouth in that case. But the good news also then is Cold War has a built-in fan base of World of Tanks players who might be interested in moving over because it's similar but also different content. I don't know. So Eric Glass, you liked it? Okay. It wasn't my cup of tea. I'm not gonna bash on it necessarily. It's just too manic for me. It's not really something I dig, but I can see how it might be for a lot of other people, and it looked like it was relatively popular. A lot of people were playing it, giving them good feedback. So I wish them luck, man. I always want gaming companies to make good content and do well. That doesn't bother me at all. Helldivers looks cool. I might try it at some point, but I guess it's a $60 game though, isn't it? It's not free to play, which is a decent model. That doesn't bother me because at least then all the microtransaction stuff isn't as spastic. It looks cool, but it looks like a lot of just stuff shooting and whatnot. I don't know. Someone did break a record of died 8 times in a single match. So he was an arty player? Oh, dang. Dang. Can you drown? Can you drown yourself in Helldivers? I've been reading articles on it, actually. You can drown? Great. I read one article that it said, I think it was a PC Gamer article, which that's a whole nother subject, PC Gamer, good God. But anyway, this article was just about Helldivers, and it said that people were stealing resources from each other, and then it noted that resources are shared, so they are killing each other for resources or something like that. And then they're like, I don't know why people are doing that. So team killing, right? I guess resources are shared. Is that my understanding? And yet people were still scummy enough to be killing each other for them. Gamers never change, man. Never change. Every time a cool game like that comes out and people pile in, initially there's always this kind of good feeling, everyone's together, working together, doing things. Eventually, the dirtbags show up and they learn how to needle you within the construct of the game, right? The arty players, I'm just kidding, arty players, I love you guys, you're the best. It is co-op, yeah. But I think, but it's got team damage, Cliffy. That's the thing. So I've been watching a few videos, things. There's like orbital strikes and other things. A lot of the weapons will hurt your buddies. You either have to be careful or not, depending on the situation. And I think that sacrificing yourself is kind of a big deal in a lot of those cases. Guys trying to help their team by dying. You know, put the strike danger close and all that. Another had his machine crashed 200 times during the test. His machine was well under spec. Well, under or over? I mean, under, okay. I think maybe you meant over. Because if you're under spec, I'm not surprised you crash. But if you have better than you need, then yeah, that's not great. That's why they test them, though, guys. I mean, there's a lot going on in these games. I think that makes it interesting, Wayne. I liked team damage in World of Tanks. This has been years ago, right, since they removed it. But I was definitely against removing team damage in World of Tanks. I thought that was a great part of the game. Sure, trolls shot you, accidental hits hit you, ricochets could kill you, stuff like that. But at the same time, tactically and from the mind game piece, it was important to me to leave that in. But we've done so many things to dumb it down. All right, we've been out for an hour, guys. We're going to take a 5-minute break. I've got to refresh the coffee and take a bio, and we'll be right back.
A mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came, to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts, and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell, to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. To the swamplands came the mountain man, to teach his wisdom and pay his due. A man with a name only known to a few. To his followers his words are true. Guido is the man, big and gruff. He used to fly jets, but now he does the tanking stuff. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. The mountains are home where he watches the moose and hummingbirds aplenty. But he saw the need for the Watt community to have a guru and lead them gently. Down the road to Unicom land will die, trying hard in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido! Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido! So he broadcast his message far and wide, using YouTube, Twitch, and various means, to lead you to the promised land of WR, win 8 and damage counts, that a mortal man is only stuff of dreams. Win your flank and then go back, was his mantra for the pack, to which they shouted, "Yes, bossman, that we will. Win our flank and then flex back." Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido! Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido!
All right, Phils, we are back. Let's see. You kill me because you don't like the way I play. Yeah. I'd love it when RNG fails to let you hit the side of a one shot. Yes, Eric Glass. Yep. RNG, my friend. Relatively randomness. Should it be RRG? Relatively random number generator. All right. Other subjects du jour. Forums are gone. Assembly shop. Yeah. Bit of buffoonery on the delay, but I did get it. And here's what it looks like. Maybe I didn't. Oh yeah, there it is. There she is, fellas. Kedge, thanks, man. Much appreciated. 39 months. Happy Sunday. What do you guys think? I don't know. It's been kind of panned by the reviewers. I haven't played it yet. It looks decent. You know what's funny about it is it's 220 thickness on the hull, but you know where that is? Actually, it's 210. Sorry, it's this big flat plate right here. So because it's not really very angled, unless you kind of go hold down a little bit extra angle on there. It's relative thickness or displayed thickness is like 240, 250, something like that. So most things at tier 10 are going to go right through it, even at 210 thickness. So it looks good. This upper hole is well angled. It's not as thick, but it is well angled. But that's pretty big for a lower plate. It is low slung though, and the turret is not very thick, but it's really highly angled directly face on. So if you look at the armor profile on it, go take a look at that real quick. If you go hold down, which is problematic because the tank only has -7, I think, gun depression. Got to go to the right place here. Tanks by stat. No, not tanks by stat. Tanks by list is easier for me. USSR, tier 10, object 2, 452K. There we go. And let's see. Do that. We go to the live model. If you look at it, now that's pretty good. Effective armor at over 300 and auto ricochet right there. That's face on. There is a weak spot on the hatch above, right there on the right side. So that's about as big a hatch as you get on a Russian tank, to be honest. Here's that 210 thickness. So the effective angle is 250. The bottom piece is 90 millimeters. This top piece is 120 millimeters. Right there. If you go hold down a little bit, that's really pretty spectacular, although it does flat plate this lower plate. And as I said, it struggles a bit going hold down because it's only -7 on the gun depression. So you're not going to get a whole bunch of hold down, but you can do a little bit with it. The side is horrible, so it doesn't have the saucer shape that a lot of the Russian tanks do. There's no spaced armor that I've noticed on the side, unless I'm missing it, unless you hit like a track or a wheel or a return, whatever, bogey, whatever the hell that thing is. So this doesn't, and if you side scrape, you get this action right here. So even if the turret is pointing at you, yeah, good enough, then guys can shoot you in the shoulder right there. Not many, Silver. Not many. Not many hold down -7 degree maps. That's a fact. Well, depending on the hold down, right? Ridge hold down, obviously. Rubble and stuff that's high enough to cover the lower plate, then yeah, you're good to go. But of course, in those cases, you're not adding extra angle to the front, are you? Right? So you want something like that to be. You want to be shooting at somebody like that, you know. I never mess with this too much. It's so wonky. Whatever. You get the picture. 780 is better? Okay. Quickie Baby actually had some stats on it already. I don't know what site he was looking at. I went to tomato.gg, and as of yesterday, I didn't see it listed, but let's take a look if it's here now. Tier 10 heavies. Wasn't the, oh, it is there now. Never mind. All right, so there it goes. There we go. So very interesting. 53 point, no, that's the player. Hold on, we want to do this. Win rate. So what's it doing? Here we go. So it's middle of the pack, 49.6. Looks like it's got a pretty bad difference in expected. Huh. Look at that. Wow. Some of these will smooth out. That's really interesting because we always say that initially generally the better players, more experienced players are playing things, and that will boost its capability. But this is already running well below expected in terms of the players' win rates by a lot. That's significant. People are learning how to play it, but maybe it's not learnable. Maybe the E75 could do that, yeah. Not working, says the IS-7. So I think we can all agree, based on what we're seeing here, at least I'll make that assumption, it's fairly average, right? Fairly average. I mean, it's no FV215B, baby. With a -4, 43.92. It's certainly not OP. That's a good point. It doesn't have an auto loader, loader, reverse reloader, auto loader. That's nice. It doesn't have any rockets. We'll get to that. But this one doesn't have any rockets. Although rockets appear to be infecting other tanks at this point. We need more rockets. You guys think we need more rockets? No magic wheels. No magic auto aim. Doesn't turn up its own arsehole. I think we need more rockets, though. I'm just me thinking out loud. More rockets. Common Test 3. Which is essentially... yeah. Who knows what I'm talking about? Somebody's got to know what I'm talking about. Common test. Don't give it away, Wayne. Wayne's giving it away. I know, I told you to give it away. We'll get to that. We're going to get to that. New Battle Pass season maneuvers. So this is Common Test 1.24, which appears to be probably the Battle Pass thing. It is going to be released, I want to say March 5th or 6th, 7th, somewhere in there. So what is that, a week or 2 weeks? Not next week, but the week after. No, next week, fellas. So next week, this Battle Pass, the special Battle Pass, ends today. So make sure you do all that. And then next week, we have to hurry up and get another Battle Pass. So get your gold out. Rub your 2 gold pieces together and be ready for it. All right. So we've got that. We'll take a look at the tanks here in a minute. There's 2 new tanks that you can get. Cool, cool. We've also got maneuvers. Maneuvers. This is a Clan Wars event kind of thing. And there are some new tanks. Actually, I don't know if there is a new tank. No, there is no new Clan Wars tank thing. There's a bond auction for the 116F3, the Carro da Combattimento 45T, Object 907, the 7501K, 121 Bravo, which you can get for bonds, by the way, and the T95E6. No Chieftain. Not that the Chieftain's all that anymore, but there is no Chieftain. No Chieftain for you. Thanking you, Zemke. What's happening, man? How are you? Oh, man. Sorry, dude. Sorry, brother. Send a thought out for Zemke, fellas. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. All right, let me know when you're ready again, dude, and we'll get some games in. I just haven't been playing very much, but yeah. That sucks, man. All right, let's see. So the Clan Wars thing, I'm not sure what's going on with this. Is it just go to battle with a vehicle on duty or reset? Okay, so they've got new rules for how you get your vehicles back. It's been so long since I've looked at this on how the maps work. But anyway, Clan Wars, does it have a date? I don't see a date for this. If there is one, I would imagine it's maybe March 5th or somewhere in there as soon as this update shows up. So that's what's going on with 1.24. We'll see that next week. Good to go there. All right, let's take a look, fellas, at the roadmap sneak. Actually, let's do one thing before we do that. We're going to check out the Armored Patrol, see what other kind of little leaks we got going out. Here's the release date. So NA, it's March 5th, right there. As far as, remember, this is a leak site, so it's as accurate as it is, kind of thing. We're a big player in Clan Wars. Yeah, we're going to probably win. March 11th, Chubby? Okay, thank you. 7v7 starts March 11th. All right, there you go. So get in the clan. If you get in the clan that's going to play, our clan, not our clan, but if you need to go, as I've said for everybody that's in GFLC, if you need to go to another clan and do some Clan Wars and you want to come back, absolutely no problem. You do the thing. There's always a spot. All right. Watt Super Test, talking about the Polish tanks. That's going to be in the roadmap. We'll get to them in a minute. We got a Su-122V. That's a Tier 9 premium, which kind of looks like a wedge tank, so the Russian version, I guess, of the Striv kind of idea. We have this console stuff. Bunch of other Garbanzo. Bonus code, but that was Watt Blitz. See, this said Watt bonus code, so... But everyone's saying it's Blitz. I don't know. Watt Object 452, false advertisement. Oh, man. Oh, I didn't realize that. Advertised with 500 millimeters. So this is kind of BS. There's always the caveat on tanks that aren't released that the stats can change. And I understand what they're getting at here, that it's kind of BS that they'll for months say it's going to be X and then nerf it at the end. That's another subject. But understand that until something's actually released, and even sometimes after it's released, we've had that discussion. Stuff should be able to be, tanks and content should be able to be nerfed and buffed as required for the good of the game. I don't really have a huge problem with that. I do kind of have a problem with, advertising something, selling it, and then immediately maybe nerfing it. That's probably not great. But there you go. There's a lot of articles about the whole mantlet situation. Honestly, what's the difference between 500 and 400 in the game? 400 brings it within reach of a couple guns, right? Like the JPZ kind of idea. 500 is impenetrable. But that's not good, right? Is that good to have an actually completely impenetrable spot on a tank? All right. I don't know what is this 168G. This really looks like a Is this like the Type 59 prototype or something? Or some other version of a Type 59? So they've got the Object 168G, whatever that is. It's a medium tank. Common test. All right, this was interesting actually. So remember a couple weeks back we looked at some Mannerheim line changes, and they were pretty robust, I guess I would say. Quite a lot of changes. This is a much less robust and I would say more subtle kind of change. So we look at right here, we can see the old. I like how they put old and new. That's very helpful. So this is the old one. Remember, you go over here and you play hold down games in this little undulating terrain, and then you can spider tank across the side, nearly drown, and come around the corner and all that kind of crap over here. Looks like there's maybe some similar gameplay still over here, but they have changed this part. So it looks like you can't spider tank. I guess you have to come up and over to spider tank. Unknown if you can still do it. This is a different view of it. So here's the old. And then the new, just a little bit steeper. And this section here, do you see this cliff? So you're not going to come around here anymore. Looks like they got rid of that. In order to go over, and it's hard to tell. No, so that's the ramp right there, actually. So maybe you can still, you got to come up and over here, and maybe you can still come around this onto the other side's ramp, but it's not as easy, I guess. It's just a much more subtle thing. And then check this out. The sniper position, they put the Agent Orange on it and push the bushes way back. So yes, you can still sniper back in here, but there's no way, at least from what I can tell, that you're going to take a shot that's going to be 15 meters behind a bush. I don't know if maybe you can build a nest with some of these trees in just the perfect spot, maybe, and then you're back in the corner, but it's not anywhere near as easy as this one is up here, the old version. So they just deleted these bushes right here and pushed the bushes back. Heisenberg would rather see a Jamaican tank. Made out of coconut, made out of palm tree trunks and shooting coconuts. Awesome. All right, so possible other changes, not nearly as severe. I wonder. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't know why they advertise the big changes, and then I don't know if they've completely come off of those. It says alternative suggested changes, so who knows? Maybe there was always two possibilities. Who knows? So I don't know how this stuff gets leaked to Armored Patrol, to be honest. I don't know whether this is an official leak, an unofficial link. I have to assume it's an official leak. So they send out the first one, and maybe they gauge response, and then they say, hey, here's another one. I don't know. I don't know what games they play in terms of that. Tier 6 TD. This is part of the new line, so the Tier 6 is not the deep grooved, deep rifled version. Although I don't think the mechanic of damage is Or is it? It is. No. Damage. No, this looks like just a basic, not deep grooved gun, which makes sense. It usually doesn't, the mechanics like that usually don't start till tier 7 or 8. Here's the assembly shop postpone thing. We already talked about that ad nauseum. Alright, cool. So what I did want to talk about though is the roadmap. Let's check that out. Did you guys get a chance to look at this? The sneak peek number 4. One Love tank, 3. Yes. All right. So we have roadmap number 4.
Hello tankers, my name is Michael and welcome to the first roadmap highlights of 2024. Today's video will cover a lot of content that we are planning to release over the next 12 months. We will add more next generation maps to the game. We are also planning to improve all our game modes. We are working on a lot of new tanks that will see daylight within this year. We are also planning to rebalance a lot of our vehicles multiple times this year. At the same time, we know how important the crew is to you. We already reviewed some of our work last year. This year we are keeping improving the system and release more content to this in this episode and some upcoming. The new achievements feature is on its way and Alex will share some more details later.
The new achievement system. Awesome. All right, so they're going to do some rebalancing. They've got 2 new lines coming up. They're trying to improve a lot of their modes. I did read a interesting comment on one of the responses to this video, and it said something like, so you guys are going to rebalance 4 tanks. Meanwhile, Lesta is rebalanced 20 or 30. That's right, Gage. That's it kind of looks like that, doesn't it? All right, let's get some details here.
We are also having a new strategy for our Battle Pass in 2024. Something really interesting is coming our way in March. Please stay until the end of the video. I will give you some more context here.
Yeah, that one I'm not sure. I don't remember what that was. The new strategy for. Oh, I do. Yeah, I remember what it was. All right, we'll get to
Alex
that.
will take it from here and enjoy the show.
All right, Alex, what we got? More difficult to understand English is the first thing we're going to have.
Hello, I'm glad we're together again. 2023 saw the introduction of the first random events, such as Zeppelin and Train on Himmelsdorf.
All right, this is totally sounds mean, but when she said Zeppelin, I actually had to go back because I had no idea. And I'm glad that there's the captions down below. But I was doing something on another screen, and she said that word. I'm like, what? Had to go back there, but that has to not. Well, actually, that's probably how it is pronounced, right? I'm the idiot. That's probably closer to the German pronunciation, actually. There you go. I'm the goober. I didn't even think about that.
They made the game even more spectacular and added depth to the gameplay. And judging by your comments,
all right, let's
let's
do
together
this
again. 2023 saw the introduction of the first random events, such as Zeppelin and Train on Himmelsdorf. They made the game even more spectacular and added depth to the gameplay.
I've mentioned this on multiple occasions. I really wish whoever writes these things, yeah, Wayne, please stop with the propaganda type commentary. Right, Gator? Right, exactly. And you don't need that. You don't need that kind of saccharine sweet propaganda-like I'm telling you what it is stuff. You could have done a sentence there that was something like, we added, what did she say? We added first random
such
events.
as Zeppelin and Train on Himmelsdorf.
Yep.
They made the
So that is a declarative statement of supposed truth. Why not tell the customer that we hope that these improvements have made the game more spectacular for you? Our intention was to add more depth to the gameplay. Right? Now I don't feel like I'm being told what has happened, even if I don't agree. Right? Is this a huge big deal? It isn't, but it's unforced errors. And I think it's cultural. It's cultural. It's what I got from this is this felt a lot like a software engineer or a game designer / project manager wrote it. Right? That's what it sounds like. And I just wish they would be a little bit less declarative and a little bit more humble. Maybe? Is that fair? Anyway.
game even more spectacular and added depth to the gameplay.
Have you really noticed much change with all this Zeppelins and shit flying through the air and blowing up? Has it changed your gameplay a whole lot? Not me, but maybe I'm not noticing it. Maybe I'm not seeing the coolness of it. On occasion, I've noticed it has changed things a little bit here and there, but I haven't seen it. And I think that's actually probably a good thing. You wouldn't want that to completely destroy everything in terms of gameplay on a map. Well, I don't know. Maybe you would. It's what I was worried about, but I haven't seen that. Yeah, I feel like nothing changed other than stuff flew through the air. Maybe Ruinberg in the city. No. Could be. But yeah. God, but I have yet to drive through that part. I don't know why I don't ever see it, or it's not a factor to me. I can see that it has to have been, obviously. People have used the things that happen at some point. Clearly, there's so many games played, and maybe people who are playing more than me right now see the benefits of those things more than I do. But I don't actually remember ever driving through it, and specifically Ruinberg. I don't remember driving through it at once yet. Use it once to win a game. Good. In thousands, yeah. I still think that their best plan, other than these big flashy explosions and stuff falling out of the air and all that kind of stuff, was simply to make minor adjustments on maps more often. Maybe even some dynamic changes such that some things would change on maps, every time the map showed up, there'd be a few things, bushes in different places, things like that. But that's not what we got. We got this very, very large, very flashy stuff flying through the air and blowing up and all that good stuff.
And judging by your comments, you enjoyed them. That's why the list of random events will be significantly expanded this year.
They're adding multiple maps for this stuff to happen. I don't know if that's my takeaway from people's enjoyment of this or not. Do we really need them on every map? I have been affected by the Japanese port one. That one has affected me a couple times. In fact, I've had to run away from that area because I was in there fighting, and on one specifically, I got pushed out. I think it was on stream. I got pushed out and killed because I had to get out, and the only way to go out was out into where I was being shot. So that actually got me. The autocratic fairy is waving. The autocratic good idea fairy. The good idea fairy of tyranny is paying attention to you.
We plan to add new scenarios for 6 maps: Cliff, Karelia, Pilsen, Redshire, Siegfried Line, and Malinovka. For example, on Siegfried Line, planes will bomb the town. This will affect the overall state of cover. On Malinovka, a plane crashes into the hill. hitting the windmill and creating new defensive and offensive opportunities. As you have seen so far, events will have an impact on battle conditions and create new tactical opportunities, even on maps you've learned like the back of your hand.
So planes crashing, zeppelins, and bombs, which is what we had the whole time. Although I suppose I didn't see any. Well, they didn't show every map though, did they? They just said, for example. So I don't know. Maybe does a train crash on Proc or something? I don't know. The log cabins. Did it really? Oh man. Some log cabins are better than other log cabins.
On Siegfried Line, planes will bomb the town. This will affect the overall state of cover. On Marinovka, a plane crashes into the hill, hitting the windmill and creating new defensive and offensive opportunities.
It did.
We've seen so far.
It took a few hits, Cliffy, but it shrugged them off. So when you shoot it, a whole section of it explodes and falls down, and if you drive into it. But when an airplane crashes into it, it just shrugs it off, so it's okay.
Events will have an impact on battle conditions.
Log, not hits.
Tactical opportunities, even on maps you've learned like the back.
Oh, does it destroy the windmill? Yeah. Make sure you knock down the hard cover so that Artie can get you.
Back of your hand.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right,
Random
recon.
missions continue the idea of random events, making the game environment more interactive. We don't just want to test maps, but also the way players interact with them.
The interactive environment in Recon mission launches will allow players to interact with various elements of the map more actively. You'll be able to affect game objects more and adapt the environment to your liking.
We already saw this a couple weeks ago on another one of these things. So there are going to be some places that you used to not be able to knock down or break that will be destructible. So I don't think it's obviously the whole map kind of idea. There's going to be specific places, and we'll have to learn where those are. But there you go. Yeah, it's going to be a spectacular recon mission. I feel like my wife's 4th grade class wrote this, where they have to use all the adjectives and describing words, and they just randomly pull these words out of the air and put them in there. Spectacular, amazing, stuff like that.
In 2024, you can expect continuous development to your beloved arcade cabinet.
Beloved. Beloved. I don't. Okay.
There'll be familiar night battles with modified view range and concealment parameters. You can count on experiencing an overwhelming display of fire, featuring the excitement and chaos of multi-barrel and salvo-firing tanks in aptly named Overwhelming Fire. Additionally, you can look forward to more lighthearted festive fun in the Winter Arcade at the end of the year. Of course.
So they're bringing back Overwhelming Fire. We're going to do the Winter Arcade and the skating around on the ice and stuff. I have to say the graphics for the rapid firing guns is actually pretty cool looking. Not my cup of tea. Don't really want to see that in the game, but there they are. Always go beach. A tidal wave on Overlord to kill all the beach. All right, see that's stuff I could get on board with, Kedge. Wayne. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just completely wreck some of these noob spots, All right.
Of course, there will be new things you haven't seen before.
This was
currently researching
different
approaches to map design to make something very unusual and very arcade-like.
Arcade-like.
We believe this work will allow us to bring you a fun game experience and see tank gameplay in a new light.
So I don't know if that's a mode or another follow-on thing or what, but you saw that kind of looked like toy tanks on a 3-dimensional kind of thing going on with platforms dropping and all kinds of stuff. So who knows what that's all about.
Many people enjoy farming in Frontline, and so do I. Now we've made it even more interesting with the dynamic scenario system.
So now they have this dynamic scenario system in Frontline. I guess that's happening now. Is that right, guys? And I think this is a conglomeration of the last 3 or 4 iterations that they've kind of attempted. So they've basically said, okay, now it'll just randomly be rule set X, Y, or Z, is my understanding. You finished it? Wow, nice. Is there a bunch of bonds and stuff available? I haven't even paid attention because it's when does it go to? Well, let's find out. We'll click on it and it'll take 14 years. Affirmative, noted. Nope, it's over. It's it's over. Yep. I failed. I failed in my frontline efforts. Ends today. All right, so there you go.
Each scenario has a set of rules that can change the course of the battle.
One of the 3 scenarios is assigned at the start of the battle.
How is the silver now in Frontline? Is it still good to get a lot of silver out of
The
it?
usual Frontline rules, where combat reserves have their standard cooldown time. The operational
Oh, experimental
support
equipment. I
scenario
forgot about
accelerates
that.
the
That's a good
cooldown
reason to
of
do
all
it, actually.
combat reserves. This means more dynamic battles and more abilities being used. Finally, the twist of fate scenario.
The usual farm?
allows you to
Okay.
pick one of 2
I
random
th-
reserves when you
Experimental equipment's good. I like the turbo experimental equipment. There's nothing wrong with the turbo experimental equipment.
combinations. We hope the scenario system adds some zest to every battle you play.
Zest. Add some zest.
Modes and events are just part of this year.
But that's for like a 30-minute game, Patriot, right? So how many games can you get in 30 minutes otherwise? If they both go 15 minutes in a standard battle, then you'd get 2. But that's not average. So let's say in 30 minutes you could get, let's just say 3 games. Yeah, let's say 3 games. Those would be 3 pretty good games. But I think you can do the same fairly easily in randoms, to be quite honest, if you're running boosters and things like that. So I think they've done a lot to bring those to sort of slowly nerf the frontline thing down to where it's more or less the same. It's not like the first couple iterations where it was head and shoulders above randoms in terms of how much you could get. Uh-oh. Emote only chat. And all you can do is put emotes in, fellas. Come on. Yeah, there's no tank. All you're getting is experimental equipment, bonds, and some other things like that. All right.
There's content. But that's not all.
It's not all.
2 new Tech 3 branches are coming soon. Polish tank destroyers for close combat and Czechoslovakian light tanks with autocannons.
So that apparently is where all the autocannon stuff that they've been talking about was going. Developed for the Czech light tanks. They announced that, I don't even know if it was 2 years ago, it was at least last year, early last year, I believe, showing the autocannon thing. So I guess that's what they're doing for the Czech light tanks. That's their thing.
The Polish tank destroyers not only share a visual and tactical resemblance to the Object 268 branch, but also embody the delicate balance between armor and mobility, coupled with formidable firepower.
I don't even know what the hell that means, but there you go.
However, some distinctive features set them apart, such as a novel mechanic. The deep rifling of their guns is tailored for a specific shell type. The closer you are to the enemy, the higher the damage. At a distance of up to 50 meters, the gun will cause maximum damage. As the distance increases, the damage progressively diminishes.
So 500 meters is the maximum draw range. What was the other one? The 49. So 49 or closer, it's max.
Distance of up to 50 meters. The gun will
275 to 50, I guess, is the second iteration. 275 to 50. Oh, so they're going quickly, not working. If you want your 752, get out there. Or whatever it is. 452.
While these new tank destroyers may
452.
lack effectiveness in long-range engagement,
So I was talking, but essentially, I think you guys all know this, but you do more damage closer, and the damage tails off as you get further away. This is actually kind of a physics thing with most shells. Kind of depends on the shell, but generally the damage would decrease as the velocity decreases. But of course, with heat and other things, there's other things going on there. But I guess with the deep rifling, they're modeling the fact that that particular shell would actually have a lot more drag, probably, but a lot of pen close. I don't know. It's a weird decision. You know? It sort of feels like that's kind of how everything works, but it's not really the way it's modeled in the game. Most of that is modeled by the penetration piece of it. And essentially, if you penetrate, other than HE, if you penetrate in this game, then you get the shell damage as the shell damage. But now they've got this different mechanic that feels like most of the shells should be kind of like that anyway, but they've done this just to be different. And I don't know what it brings to the game. Trying to stop camping. So one Polish TD line is going to sort it out. Good morning, Todd. How you doing, man? Yeah, we did see that, Zemke. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, exchanging gold for free experience has always been the way to go, but you may... My only counter to that, Zemke, is you may have a lot of extra... We talked about it earlier, but you may have a lot of extra resources sitting around that basically don't matter to you anyway, so that could actually then become the cheaper way to do it. To each individual, I suppose. All right.
they become truly devastating in close combat. The branch begins with the 25 TP and includes 6 vehicles that gradually unveil the unique attributes and...
All right, so it's a tier 4, the 25 TP, guys. If you want to get ready for this thing, you go to the Polish line, and we're talking about this guy right here. Let's get rid of this just for a second. We're talking about the 25 TP at tier 5, and it's going to come off of that. So you're going to want to... Actually, did I miss what's... All right, it is directly coming off of the 25 TP for the Zemyika or whatever it is. So that's the tank you're going to want to build some experience on and get ready to unlock the tier 5 TD and then move on through that branch. Provided you want to get ahead of the game.
strengths of the new assault vehicles.
I'd love to tell you more about Czechoslovakian light tanks, but they're currently under active development. All I can say is that they will be armed with guns with an automatic firing mode. They should definitely offer something unusual.
Okay. So not a lot of extra information on the Czech light tanks. Actually, I'm interested in that. A new light tank line? Fantastic. Let's do it. I'll enjoy grinding that.
Some tanks have been in the game for many years, and we haven't forgotten about them. The balance department is constantly working to improve.
Failed Jedi is leaving no doubt about his thoughts.
And they have 2 rebalances for you this year. Now, we can tell you about the first one, which is coming this spring.
The upcoming rebalance will bring changes to 4 Tier 10 vehicles and their branches.
And their branches,
Super
okay.
Condor has been highly effective and hard to counter for a long time. We will keep its strengths.
Does this really need? Does the Super Conqueror, is this, well, I guess it is near the top still, okay. What about the BZ? BZ is above it.
Though planned changes will make it easier to play against.
Pawn Stars guy, he does look like the Pawn Stars guy.
Contra Caro 3 Minotauro is as difficult to crack when it's hull down.
All right, Minotauro. What's the problem with the Minotauro? It does look like the Super Conqueror is near the top, so what do we got Minotauro-wise? What's the issue there? Okay, it's second. What about the Ho-Ri? Well, traditionally they don't touch stuff that just came out. They just let it fester for longer. because it hasn't been around long enough.
This too will see changes to its armor to make it easier to counter in such situations.
Minotauro, well, see, there's one of the issues there for the Minotauro. It's actually overperforming according to its expected. That's a delta that starts to become important above, I would say, 1 or 2. I don't know where the range where I would. What would you guys say? Where would the win rate difference between expected and actual? What number would you think is indicative of a problem, either one way or the other? Too good, too bad. I don't know if it's 1. It's green here, so I guess everything above is a green color. Yeah, okay. So, and then it gets darker green and darker red. I would certainly say -3, like down here for the FV, that's horrible. But here's the problem. This is an FV, so it has other issues, right? It has game-breaking alpha. Game-breaking. Broken, let's put it that way. Somewhat broken alpha. But obviously that's tamped down by all of its other weaknesses. But still, a -3 expected, that's not great. Eric says 2.5. That's about as good a guess as anything, I guess. Cliffy says more than 1.5 or so. Okay. Yep. So you can see the argument here, obviously. And I like the win rate one. It's easier for me to see and conceptualize. This is a pretty big delta above 50%. Provided somehow you assume 50% is a goal, that's a whole nother subject. But if we go under the assumption that you want everything as close to 50% as possible, there's a whole nother argument about why you might not want that. But if you're looking at it and go, all right, what's overperforming over 50%, then you've got the Minotauro. That's a pretty big delta. You know, it's headed towards 3% above. You've got the Hori, though. It's apparently not going to be touched. It's also got a really high player win rate, although its win rate difference is still negative from expected. So there's a lot going on there. Wargaming also likes to deal with number of battles, i.e. popularity. I don't see much going on here, although I guess the Minotauro is pretty popular as compared to other TDs. Still, though, there's a lot of others that are played more. So it's hard to... That one's... I get it, kind of, but... I wouldn't say that I think about when a Minotauro shows up on the other team that I go, oh crap, I wish they'd do something about this Minotauro. Yeah, Cliffy, it's a good point. Yep. They killed the Prague. Yeah, because it was too popular, right?
Been clearly outmatched by many of its heavy counterparts. It'll receive a noticeable improvement to its characteristics and become a tank for all, and not just with a niche appeal.
Did they get rid of... No, I don't know if they got rid of that spot or not, or did they change the way the armor model looks? I don't know what you do for this thing if you keep this shoulder piece here that's so weak. If you keep it so weak. It can't side scrape for shit. You know? We'll see, though. I like that tank because... Not because it's a great tank, because it's goofy. Yeah, exactly, Cliffy, right? This is what I'm talking about. They're roughly the same tank, same prototype-ish thing, you know, different versions of the same... So what would eventually become the same tank. But they're night and day difference. All right, Kedge, have a good one, man. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.
It has very high firepower potential, but it rarely manages to fully realize it. The changes should allow this vehicle to truly shine.
This one, I don't even... Where does it live? It's right in the middle. This is of the ones we're talking, this is the most dangerous one to buff, in my opinion, in terms of the game. When you can drop that thing's clip, it is an absolute monster. You buff this thing too much. The problem with autoloaders and auto reloaders when they get buffs is that they are almost always on the fine knife edge of being completely overpowered. If you buff it just a little too much, it then becomes an absolute beast. So these are hard. The autoloaders and auto reloaders are hard to balance, and you can crush them with a small nerf, and you can turn them into absolute beasts with a small buff. It's not easy. So I wish them luck on that one. And that one is probably the biggest head scratcher for me because, to be honest, it's right in the middle anyway. It lives right here. So what? How did it need a buff and the grill didn't? Or the 110E4? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll see. And they show it just annihilating things with its autoloader. Let's buff that. Good. Buff it.
The game experience is being improved both in battle and in the garage. That's why we are preparing several updates to Crew. The perk system will be changed later in this year, but improvements to all-round comfort are coming very soon.
So the perk system, man, what a running battle this has been, guys, right? It's just been a constant, hey, here's what we're going to do with the, no, okay, we're not going to do that. Hey, we thought about something new. Okay, we won't do that one either. So, I paused. I think I paused. This is funny to me. I posited the perfect spot where she talked about the Crew system. Look at her. I know this is a transitory face, but she's looking at you like. I am cracking myself up right now because she looks like she's looking at the camera going like, here we go. Oh, shit. All right.
You will no longer have to increase the major qualification.
Wait a minute. I have to watch that part again.
The game experience is being improved both in battle and in the garage. That's why we are preparing several updates to Crew. The perk system will be changed later in this year, but improvements to all-round comfort are coming very soon.
You will no longer have to increase the major qualification.
I could tell while she was doing that. It looked to me like in the back of her mind, she's like, and now it's on. Oh, man. I think she was thinking about the complete shitstorm for the last 2 years about Crew, and she was saying that. She's like, oh, boy, here we go.
You will be able to move any crew in a suitable tank, immediately unleashing the full potential of its characteristics. When reassigning
Okay, we knew about that.
retraining, you won't get a penalty to vehicle dynamic characteristics. Instead, crew perks will be blocked. After retraining for free or for credits, perks will work, but with reduced efficiency, until the crew receives enough XP in its new vehicle. This system is much simpler and more player-friendly. Another long-awaited event coming up is the barracks cleanup. All crew members...
So I'm not really sure. I'm not following that. What are they talking about?
Are coming very soon.
You will no longer have to increase the major qualification level
Okay.
of your crew.
So you're 100%.
Will be replaced by crew efficiency bonus, which will show the effect of things like brothers in arms or ventilation. You will be able to move any crew in a suitable tank, immediately unleashing the full potential of its characteristics. When reassigning a crew without retraining, you won't get a penalty to vehicle dynamic characteristics. Instead, crew perks will be blocked. After retraining...
What? That's just rearranging the deck chairs. I'm trying to think, does anybody actually move a crew without retraining it? Do you guys do that? Does anybody run a crew without retraining it? Obviously, if you put it in a premium, it's NA, no factor. That's interesting. I don't even know what the point of that is. I guess new players? Okay. Well, now new players are going to have their skills blocked. Does that mean you can you actually end up with no Sixth Sense now? If you move a crew and don't retrain it, because now it's the permanent perk. Does Sixth Sense get blocked? I wonder if you can play the game without 6 cents now. Well, now you move your crew and you don't retrain it to the tank, and you have 6 cents blocked. That's pretty funny. I don't see the point of that.
For free or for credits, perks will work, but with reduced efficiency until the crew receives enough XP in its new vehicle.
What does that mean? Enough XP in its new vehicle? Enough? What?
The full potential of its characteristics. When reassigning a crew without retraining, you won't get a penalty to vehicle dynamic characteristics. Instead, crew perks will be blocked. After retraining for free or for credits, perks will work, but with reduced efficiency.
I see. All right, so if you go free or credits, then you have to work your way back up in some manner, which I assume is about the same amount as it would have been earlier for your primary skill, right? So what's the damn difference? Other than the block, as I think Cliffy said, that's a nerf. Other than the block of the perks not working, that is whatever.
Until
What
the
is?
crew receives enough XP in its new vehicle. This system is much simpler and more player friendly.
No, nope. That is incorrect. That's right, Obandu. I take exception to that. It's much simpler. Yeah, it only took me 5 minutes to work my way through it. It's easy. Oh man, okay.
Another long-awaited event coming up.
Honestly, I'm going after him here. I don't think this matters a whole bunch. It's such a niche situation that 99% of the time, let's say 90% of the time, it's not going to frickin' matter to anybody. You know what it will do? It will confuse the shit out of new players, though. It will continue what is kind of confusing with crews. When they said they would be 100%, I sort of figured that would be a good thing. And again, this is a niche situation. This is simply, all of that was for moving a crew from a tank to another tank without retraining them. Only, obviously, for tech tree tanks, because if you move guys into premiums, it doesn't matter. So it's a weird, I don't know.
All crew members that don't have enough XP to train their first perk to 100% will be removed from the barracks and compensated for with crew books.
Why?
After retraining for free or for credits, perks will work, but with reduced efficiency until the crew receives enough XP in its new vehicle. This system is much simpler and...
Is that because we're going to the one character captain thing? Oh, crews below 100% won't exist. Oh, that's right.
more
Okay.
player-friendly.
Yep.
Another
Yep.
long-awaited
Yep.
event
That's true.
Coming up is the barracks cleanup. All crew members that don't have enough XP to train their first perk to 100%.
Well, that's perk though, Cliffy, not their major. Is that a misspeak? Aren't we talking about 100% on their major qualification, not perk? Is that just a misspeak, or what am I missing there? Both? But why would, if you have 100% in a qualification, why would they take that character away from you? Even if he was, say, 78% on Brothers in Arms. I think we're missing a piece here.
100% will be removed from the barracks and compensated for with crew books. These will contain as much XP as the converted tankers had. And don't worry about special crew members like celebrities. You will keep them.
Do not dismiss any guys out of your barracks if you can. Do not dismiss any guys out of your barracks.
A lot of content has appeared in the game over the years, and it's not always clear what you've achieved and what you still have to aim for. The new achievement system will help you with that.
Oh, thank goodness. It is not clear what I have achieved. Make it clear for me.
Eventually, it will cover many aspects of the game, but at first, it will focus on the most important one, the vehicles.
Okay.
This new achievement system will be of great help to tankers, both seasoned and new. Initially, there will be several sections. The first will be a record of all your researched vehicles of different types, including rare tanks. The second will show your progress towards researching vehicles in different nations. The third will keep a record of all the customization elements you have received.
I don't have a problem with them reworking the UI and let you see things like that. Part of the gaming, and this game specifically and in particular, is it is a collector game of stuff. So it is cool to sometimes be able to get into a nice, functional, useful UI and see what you've done. I don't have any issue with that. It's fine. We'll see how useful it is.
There will also be a list of in-game trophies you've earned during unique game events. Achievement
That I don't really care about. Some people may.
hunting is fun, but it's even better when you get a reward for it. For some achievements, you'll get valuable items, such as rare dog tags. Each achievement
Let me fix my eyebrows here. Oh, all I did was mute it.
An additional
Hold on,
exclusion.
hold on.
including rare tanks.
We got to listen to it again.
Second will show your progress towards researching vehicles in different nations. The third will
Cliffy,
keep a
that's
record of all the customization elements you have received and can receive. There will also be a list of in-game trophies you've earned during unique game events.
Can you look at your your dog tags and see what people, like names of people you've killed? Is that in there anywhere? I want to know how many times I've killed Cliffy or Todd. Yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it? Man, that'd be a lot of data, though, wouldn't it? Holy crap-a-roni. I can see why they wouldn't do that, but that'd be a lot of data. It would be cool, though. Yeah, no history? Okay.
Achievement hunting is fun, but it's even better when you get a reward for it.
When he said that, I went, that's cool. Like, I don't know what, PRs, some extra credits, equipment, maybe 100 experimental equipment parts, something cool, right? That is, I'm like, oh, that's a good idea, because I've talked about that. Somebody mentioned the Hall of Fame. There should be rewards in some of that stuff for being #1 for the month and whatever. That'd be cool. That's fantastic. Let's see. What do we get?
For some achievements, you'll get valuable items, such as rare dog tags. Each achievement point
Somebody put me in the meeting so I can be a fly on the wall where one of the guys pitched, hey, we're going to do all this stuff and we're going to give them rewards. Oh, yeah? What rewards? Well, we really think the players love dog tags and we're going to give rare dog tags. They're gonna eat that up, man. They're going to love it. We have a lot of data that says dog tags are super popular in this game. Beloved dog tags. Rare, spectacular, beloved dog tags. They missed an opportunity to sell. You're right, guys. They missed an opportunity to sell that a little bit harder. Look, Wargaming, nobody gives a shit about dog tags. I mean, honestly, that was a failed effort. It has to be said. Nobody cares. Missed opportunity, guys. You could have done something cool. I don't know why you had to tie dog tags into it. It's. I give credit where credit's due for you guys. You do a great job. A lot of times, I love the game. Dog tags are shit. Nobody cares. Honestly, and I'm making it an absolute. Clearly, somebody cares. There's probably a couple players out there. I don't think I'm going out on a limb if I say the majority, a significant portion, most blah 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 players. The dog tags are a miss. No, it doesn't do anything for anybody. That could be it, Cliffy. Maybe he's like, oh man, I'm bringing back dog tags. Yep, I'm bringing sexy back and dog tags. I'm bringing sexy dog tags back. That dates me. How long ago was that? 20 years? Jeez. All right.
Your progress. This will help you evaluate your overall success status and then compare it with your friends.
We've got
I mean, I like the competition thing and comparing stuff. It just has to be something people care about, and there has to be a little bit of actual reward, not dog tags. So we'll let that dead horse
good
go.
news for you. A trial period will soon be available for Watt Plus. You will be able to check out its
This in the same pitch meeting, the subject of the lack of use of Watt Plus came up. And somebody said, you know, the way drug dealers do it is the first one's free. So they're maybe not making their numbers on Watt Plus.
Gold Reserve, an additional map exclusion slot, free demounting of equipment, intensive crew regimen, and a TS-54 for rent.
The dog tag kills. Oh, was there something? Did I miss that? What'd she say about that?
For some achievements, you'll get valuable items such as rare dog tags. Each achievement point adds to your progress. This will help you evaluate your overall success status and then compare it with your friends.
Is that something that exists now, Black Horse? Because I don't have dog tags turned on. I completely forgot about them. I don't know what. Is there something that shows up on the team list if you have dog tags enabled? I don't know. Really? Oh, okay. Well, all right. Maybe that's worth turning them on just for
More
giggles.
good news for you. A
But that would be
trial period
one
will
time in the
soon be
past, not a
available
running
for
total or
Watt
anything,
Plus.
right?
You will be able to check out its advantages for free. Gold Reserve, an additional map exclusion slot, free demounting of equipment, intensive crew regimen, and a TS-54 for rent.
How do most subscription services, when they offer a free X, in this case I'm assuming 30 days, how do most of them do it, fellas? I think most of you know where I'm going with this. You say, all right, I'm going to sign up for Apple Plus or whatever I'm going to sign up for. Exactly, Cliffy. You give them your credit card and data, however you're going to pay for it. Yes, auto renewal. And they say, all right, it's free for a month. Give me your credit card. You can cancel at any time. So, and I'm not saying they're going to not cancel if you want to. That I'm sure they do that. But still, it's a step. And they count on, in those cases, people either forgetting or going, oh, I like it enough, I'll just keep it. It's not a bad business move. It isn't. From a business standpoint, but they're definitely looking to hook some people on that TS-54, the extra gold, and all that good stuff. Yeah, you'll have to read. You have to read what the rules are, and maybe they won't. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. Maybe they'll go, "Hey, here's a free month, and then you can sign up or not." Maybe they're just going to blanket give everybody a free month. I don't know. That would be cool. That would actually be awesome. Are they that awesome? I'm not sure. If you have to go through the sign-up process, then that's par for the course. It's standard industry stuff, whatever. Choose or not, that's up to you. If they actually just went, all right, we're going to give every player Watt Plus for a month. You're going to get your free gold. You're going to you'll be able to use the TS-54. If you want to sign up after that, we'll send you a link and say, hey, look, your free month's up, and here's whatever. Or maybe they won't even do that. Maybe they'll just go, here's a free month. You make your decision or not. That would be absolutely a fantastic customer-facing event. Will they do it that way? Remains to be seen. I kind of doubt it. I hope I'm wrong.
So guys, now I want to talk a little bit about the battle pass. First news, it's gonna happen. We have actually 3 wonderful battle passes prepared for you for this year.
Wonderful.
The first one is actually happening in March. I can't reveal right now what kind of collaboration we are working on, but it will be very, very interesting, and I hope you guys will enjoy it.
I've not heard
This one will be
anything about that yet.
Dedicated to D-Day, an 80th anniversary that actually happened.
So the second one's going to be D-Day thing in June. That's cool.
As part of the history, covering a lot of different events.
80th anniversary, guys.
And we have a last one towards the end of the year, which I can't tease too much of right now as well. But let me tell you that it's related to a very famous game mode, and we have something really, really good cooking. So thank you, and I hope you will enjoy it.
2 new.
Makes me think of something. When I was 20 years old, this is a complete random thought. I'm talking about D-Day and the amount of time. When I was 20 years old, it was 1987. 1987. And so Vietnam was 20 odd years in the past. The beginning of it. The beginning of the ramp up, the 1967 area, right? So it ended in what, 71? No, 70. When the hell did it end? 73 or whatever it was. 74, something like that. 73. So it was, but that felt like ancient history. And I'm thinking about the 20-year-olds today, guys, and, you know, World War Storm and all of that in the 90s is 30 odd years ago. So even getting closer in 80 to, you know, just after World War II or maybe even Korean War. That's when you're as old as I am and you see all that stuff, and then you think about the kids that grew up and that were born in 1920. 1920. The kids in 1920 would be pretty old. In 2000, the kids born in 2000 who are now 24. That's a crazy thing to think about. That was a random thought that came to my brain.
Tier 9 special vehicles will be available in the Battle Pass store. The TT-130M is a Czechoslovakian heavy tank with jet boosters. You'll be able to accumulate tokens for it, starting in the first season. And the new main annual...
Why? I don't even... Okay. So, all right, jet boosters.
TS-60.
Maybe the Czechs were looking into it too. I don't know.
Damage per minute. Start saving up for them in the upcoming season. Now, it will be even easier for everyone. 3 tokens.
I'm getting the picture that TD, it just has a really fast firing cyclical gun with a decent amount of alpha, so it ends up with a high DPM.
From the collections will be added to the free progression. 1 token for each chapter. Additionally, the prices of all vehicles will be systematized.
Systematized.
Next season, you'll be able to earn Battle Pass points in the...
I didn't believe that was a word. I understood what it meant in the context of the word and what they were talking about. I'm like, systematized is not a damn word. And I went into it like, well, okay, that is something that a software engineer or program manager would use. Why is it in here? I don't know.
Tier 4 and
It's not a wrong word. It's just a...
store, in addition to crew members and 3D styles of the previous seasons, will feature 2D customization.
That's all for now. Thanks for staying with us. See you in the next episode of Roadmap Highlights.
All right. Thank you so much. Well done. All right. So, there's some good stuff. There's some odd stuff. There's some bad stuff. It's the usual mix. We'll see how it all turns out at the end of the day. I don't think there's anything in there that makes me go, oh, end of the world, And it's fun to give them a hard time. They had to put all that together, figure it all out, do the commentary and all that. So fantastic. Let's see. Here's to a new year, and hopefully things get better, I guess. Yeah, I think they just organized the prices a little more. You are getting more tokens, which is nice. There's a few more tokens available for the free version of it. All right, guys, we are coming up on 2 hours. Actually, we've gone overtime, which is cool, but I got to get on with the rest of my day, and I'm sure you do as well. I do appreciate everybody coming by. Thank you so much. Quite a few subs today. Thanks to all you guys for the subs, any follows that came in, all that good stuff. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. I'm working on a DCS video. Might get it out today or later in the week. I've had the content for it. I just haven't got around to it. Standard videos every day at 7, all that good stuff. I'll get this one wrapped up for the people who missed it. Get that out there. Yeah, Clippy, I was just going to let that one go. It goes back to the initial discussion we had about corporations and speaking to each other and kind of, all of that. I am still listed as it. You can find me on the new CC page. I'm not going to say anything. Obviously, I just said it right here. It's fine. Whatever. They didn't figure it out. They'll figure it out eventually, though. All right, let's go ahead and find somebody to raid, my friend, so I can get on with my day and you can get on with your day. Oh, the channel raid thing's different. That's interesting. You can actually see what they're doing. Huh, that's new. What do we got? That's interesting because you following. I don't like it. It's different. Let's see. Helldiver Day, right on, man. Let's do this here. Let's go with Baffish. Let's go raid Baffish. We'll go raid Baffish. All right, guys. Appreciate you coming by. Thanks for hanging out. This new system is messing me up. Oh, I see. Oh, now I'm waiting. Okay. You guys have a great one, and we'll see you on the videos. And hopefully Friday we will get another stream in. Later.